Hello everybody, it's December 6th when I'm doing the forearm towel workout, but I put it out on December 7th because I ran out of time to get it put out on the 6th. But anyhow, I started with towel risers where you just let it hang over your knuckles and slowly go up and down until your forearm gets a good pump. Started light and just warmed up and did my sets as I went. On the first sets, I did it in regular speed, then the other sets I sped it up just for time. And while resting in between sets, I did the pinch grip and slowly worked my way up to some heavier sets at the end. But like I said, after these I did wrist twist, I did the pinch grip, and then wrist twist, some more pinch grip, wrist twist the other way, the pinch grip, and then did wrist extension and wrist curls after that, and some more pinch grip. But I thought I'd tell you guys about the time between when I was a cop or a deputy sheriff and when I joined the military in the Army. I worked with the Union Pacific Railroad in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to tell you about the time because of Mr. Paint Chip, we used to call him. He must have ate the lead paint off of the old locomotives, and the lead paint did something to his head. It caused me to get my eyeballs frozen open. But anyways, it's like late 2000, maybe early 2001, and I had a job as a yard foreman it was a crappy job, but it would work from 12 at midnight till 12 in the afternoon on, like, I think it was Saturday through Thursday. But we'd just go do lots of odds and end jobs and spot, like, coal trains when they came in, the ones that was going to the power plant in Denver and stuff like that. But we get a new guy on our job, and he was supposed to have been a retired Air Force guy, but for some reason he just never get stuff down quite right. Everyone was afraid to work with him. But so that's why we called him Mr. Paint Chip. He's been eating the lead paint off the locomotives or something. But so first day we have him, we have to go spot the coal plant, the Comanche coal plant, which is just not too far from North Yard in Denver. The coal train will come in, and you just run the locomotives around to the other side of it, hook on, and then as a foreman, I just wait until they get a signal that they can leave North Yard, and once they take their light, I can open the switch to the coal plant, let him in, then close the switch back up so the main line's open again. But anyhow, so I just tell him, the engineer, just drop him off at the switch at the yard and have him put the fusee on the back of the train. Because what you'll do is, once you get into the yard, you go by and stop the train and let the switchman out at the switch. And when he goes by, he opens the switch and put a fusee on the train, and I'll have the guy with the truck drive me way to the back of the tracks, and as it's coming down, I can see how far they gotta go or see the push just from a long ways away with the fusee. But he does this, and he's even nervous to do that, but we get the train in there and everything. That's the only thing I can think of why he did this with the fuse later on. But later on, Denver at that time was building I-24, a real major, the highway, just expanding it a lot. So they had trains of cement, dry cement coming in every day, just train loads. But after we do the power plant, we gotta go over and spot a bunch of train loads of cement so they can unload it into the semi-trucks and go put it into the road. But over here, you can't watch the shoves the same because there's like natural gas places and everything around. But so the cement's really, really heavy, and I asked the engineer, I show him the list of the train tracks, and it's real heavy, you know, and asked him how many cars of air he wants. And he knows if we can get away with this, better have no air in it. But so he tells me, well, is Paint Chip gonna be watching the shove or what? And I was like, no, I'll just get the cars together and he can just ride the back of it with his lantern. You know? And then I can see him, I'll walk ahead and switch all the tracks so you don't get any surprises. So we start going with all the cement. I think there's 20 cars of cement, and each one weighs about 100,000 to 120,000 pounds each. So you got like 20 cars, that's 200,000 pounds of weight. And 150,000 pound locomotives trying to put brakes on to stop it all. So you need a lot of room to do it. So they get the train up there, and we don't have no air on any of the cars, and we start going back down the yard. And I have it all lined up. I tell the engineer, you're good for 20 cars. So with 20 cars, each has to be able to stop within half that distance. So 10 cars. And then all of a sudden, Paint Chip tells them 5 cars, which I don't know where he came up with this, but the engineer, all of a sudden, we was in forward, so he slammed the engine into reverse all of a sudden, and just baked the engine on it, we thought. But then I know you hit emergency, so I waited, and the engine wasn't going again. Finally got it going. And we shoved the cars over, got shoved all the way back to where we needed to go. And then I got on the engine, and it would just smell like electrical fire in there. He said, yeah, Paint Chip told me that when those cars, we had 5, he slammed it into reverse the polarity of the engine, but luckily we didn't burn it up because of that guy. But so we get up to where the coal, or not the coal, but the cement's going. I tell him, just stay here at this crossing, watch this crossing. That's all you need to do. And there's a crossing where natural gas trucks come across lots, and there's an LP, like a natural gas place right there. So just watch that. Keep him out of trouble. But all of a sudden, I see a fusee on back of the car. This guy, he lit a fusee, and then just stuck it on the back somehow while the train was moving, which isn't really smart, into the knuckle, for another thing, trying to blow us up. So I was like, geez, just don't do nothing. Just stand at the crossing like I told you. Geez, he's getting on your nerves all of a sudden. But then, so he did this. By the end, we had to shove the empties back in, so we grabbed the empties, and by then, it was probably about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was cold, winter, in January, I think. It was probably like 20 below zero, with, I think it was 15 below, and then with the wind chill around 20 below zero, but I was like, I had enough of him, so I just rode the shove back myself instead of just having to go to the switch and then open it. You know, drive it, run it back to him. So I rode this shove like about 2 miles at 20 below zero. And I was watching it. Finally we got done, but by the time we got done, I couldn't close or open my eyes. They froze open. And luckily about 3 minutes, it seemed like 3 minutes, probably just about 3 or 4 seconds. The water got back in them and they opened back up. But that's my story of Mr. Paint Chip causing me to get my eyeballs froze open. But hope you would like the workout and my story. Have a good day.
a scalper's dream when it being sold online for the reasonable price of $1,500. No way.